You're right, everyone, welcome to Breathe and Beyond. I'm really struggling to do a video today because I'm finding it difficult to express what I can speak about. You know, there are other things apart from COPD. Hobbies, what are my hobbies? I like football, I like watching football. I used to like playing football, but I can't play anymore. Maybe I can do that walking football with oxygen on. I probably won't be able to do that, will I? I like football. I like creative stuff, creative film, making. I like drama, not drama in life, I mean like actual drama, production. I do like a bit of drama in life. Everyone loves a bit of drama, don't they? I love spending time with my kids, my fiance. I ain't got loads of friends because I just don't take to people too much, to be fair. They're alright for a while, and then I think, you know what, I can't deal with them. I can't deal with people. I am a people's person, I'm an extrovert, but then on the flip side of it, I'm an introvert as well. I'm doomed. But yeah, I've got hobbies, I like to interact, but then I like my own company and just to be on my own as well. So, yeah. I do like walking. Once I get it in my mind I'm actually going to walk, I do actually like exercise. And that's one thing I do slack a lot, exercise. I really need to do more exercise. I don't buy into new year, new me nonsense. That's a load of, I don't believe that. I think you can do anything at any time of the year. You don't have to wait till the end of the year or the beginning of the year to actually make a pledge to actually better your life. You can work on yourself every day. Why wait? Sometimes it's challenging. Christmas time's challenging for me. It's all the fake outrage and the fake expectations society puts on Christmas, consumerism, finances. I think it's one big scam. It's one big scam. It's not what it's meant for at all. They've just capitalised on this this event and run with it. And it puts families like, in poverty. I really feel, when you haven't got much and then you've got expectations to spend a load of money just for one day, put yourself in debt. It's like madness. Why would you do that? And you do it because, the love of your kids and you want your kids to have, but it's just conditioning. But anyway, I'm ranting on. I digress. But yeah, it's with COPD, it's good to keep focused and to keep working on yourself in one way or another. Like I've said before, there's many facets to my life. I'm a father. I'm a partner. I'm a friend to a few friends I have got. I'm a recovered addict, alcoholic, over 13 years sober, so I need to work daily on that and try and help other alcoholics and addicts where and when I can, and other people, not just alcoholics and addicts. I've got my faith as well. Go to church. So there's many facets to, and try to keep up with everything with COPD is sometimes difficult. And then it all comes down to me. But with me, I'm a very emotional person. So when you're physically not too great, it really has a massive impact on your emotions. For me, it does. I don't know about anyone else. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm emotional. I'm intense. And that can be a blessing and a curse. But I am who I am. But yeah, living with stage 4 COPD, you have to, like I said earlier on, you have to learn to embrace it. And it's not easy sometimes when you can't breathe. You don't want to embrace it. Why do you want to embrace not breathing? Nobody wants to embrace it. But what can you do? I have to embrace it. I have to accept it. And I have to live the best way I can with it. You know, I think like, you know, it's, why have I got this COPD? I have got it. Sometimes it's depressing, sometimes you think about the future. Sometimes you think like, is it going to be bleak? The uncertainty of, you know I've got stage 4 COPD, that's my main thing. But what if what if like other health issues start piling up on top of that? It's all self-centered fear, isn't it? Really, it's self-centered fear. So, you know, and it does create fear. But then with that fear, you have to overcome the fear with faith, because the two can't exist at the same time, can they? It's such a corny saying, you know, faith knocked on the door and fear disappeared. Only if it was that easy. Faith's banging, kicking down the door. Like, you know, one of the things when the old bill comes and raids your ass, and they've got that big... That's what I need faith to be, coming through the door. You know. My past has a lot to do. Yeah, I do blame myself as well. Let's just get to the point. My past, I do blame myself. You know, although that I was powerless over my addictions and my alcoholism. You know, I've done a lot of things that probably contributed towards my COPD. Have I got myself to blame? But if I was powerless and had no choice or control, once I start, I couldn't stop. And once I stopped, I couldn't stay stopped. Addiction is not, in a way, it's not a choice. It's not a choice. I didn't choose to. I just, you know, maybe I chose to pick up the first drink, but after that, the choice was taken away from me, because I've got no power, choice, or control once I start. You know, all the, you know, my old lifestyle. You know, but I have been over 13 years sober, and I've like done things to put it right. And I do blame myself sometimes for, you know, the life of it. If I knew what I would have endured now, I would never. I say that, but would I have? Who knows? It's in hindsight, it's wonderful. And I would, if I knew what happened, I would never have done it. My life is my life. You know, I was an addict. Now I'm a recovered addict, and I'm free from all forms of addiction. You know, and old things creep in. You know. And I remember someone said to me, now you're clean and sober, what's your drug of no choice now? And people say drug of choice. I say drug of no choice. Drug of no choice, because I didn't choose. If I chose, I wouldn't be an addict. You know, and I will speak about my addiction more on this, because it's part of me. I know it's COPD, but I want to speak about my life. You know, my recovery, and hopefully I can bring hope to someone who's struggling with their addiction. You can recover. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, I used to run around and terrorise my community, you know. And now I try and get back to the community. I've done a lot to put things right. That's why I believe that God's given me this chance, you know, another chance of life, clean and sober. Because if I didn't get clean and sober when I did 13 years ago, I'd be dead by now. I'd be dead by now. It's a massive part of my COPD journey. If I didn't stop then, I would have been dead. I wouldn't have lasted 13 years using and drinking the way I did with this condition. It's progressed like the last 10 years, but not fast. Like I said, I feel better now than I did then. I'm so grateful for my recovery each day. I'm grateful. It's tough sometimes. I feel defeated sometimes, but I always know God has always brought me this far. You know, he's not brought me this far. You know, the old saying, you know, God washed you up on the shore, not to give you a kicking. God's got me this far. He's never let me down. And I thank God every day for every breath I take, for every day I live, for every blessing what comes my way. I believe, you know, in God's plan, and he's got a plan for me, and he's got a plan for others. And if I could be an instrument of that, that's a good thing. You know, I have to get myself out of myself. Get out of myself. Get God-centered. Once I'm God-centered, I can do everything through Christ. But anyway, thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. God bless you. Have a good one.